you are. So can you give me the 2-minute biography? Where'd you
Sure.
come from? What's your schooling?
Sure. My name is Jon Husted. I'm currently a state senator representing the Dayton area. Prior to coming to the Ohio Senate, I served for 8 years in the Ohio House, including 4 years as Speaker of the Ohio House. That included, in my first 6 months, passing the most fiscally conservative budget in over 40 years, a tax reform plan that included the largest income tax cut in Ohio history, and a variety of other issues to try to spawn job creation and preserve individual rights and freedoms for the people of the state of Ohio. I grew up in Montpelier, Ohio, which is in the far northwest corner of the state in Williams County. I had the opportunity to go to the University of Dayton, where I played football on the 1989 Division III National Championship team. And after concluding my undergraduate degree there, finished my master's degree at the University of Dayton. Have had a number of jobs in both the private and public sector, including work for the Montgomery County Commissioners, including 4 years at the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce as their Vice President of Business and Economic Development, and then in 2000 was elected to the legislature. I am married. I have 3 children, of which I'm very proud of. Alex, 14 years old, my daughter Katie, who's 3, and my daughter Kylie, who's 6 months old. So my wife and I are very busy both campaigning and taking care of a growing family.
Is she sleeping through the night yet?
My daughter is kind of sleeping through the night mostly. She's kind of got to that age where that's working out.
Ohio House, that was your first elected position?
Yes, it was.
And why'd you run? Why'd you run for the House in the first place?
Well, there were a lot of issues that I was very concerned about. In my role working at the Dayton Chamber, for example, I had a lot of responsibilities to try to create jobs, try to make sure that government wasn't doing things that were harmful to business and job creation and economic growth. And frankly, I saw government doing a lot of things in my role at the Dayton Chamber that were harmful to that cause. And when you combine my interest in economic development issues, you combine my interest in education and making sure people have the skills that they need to be successful, and to make sure that employers have access to a workforce that has those skills, and my desire to change a lot of those things about Ohio and make government more responsive to our needs, and to be forward-looking and trying to confront the issues of the future. I guess I grew weary of trying to persuade people to do those things, and decided that I was going to go do them myself. And that's when I decided to run for the legislature.
Give me some of what you view as your biggest accomplishments in the House.
Excuse me. I would have to say, as I alluded to earlier, in my first 6 months in office as the Speaker of the House, I had an enormous responsibility to try and, as one of the youngest speakers of the House in Ohio history, set Ohio on a new agenda. I wanted to reform the tax code. I believed that there were too many kids trapped in failing schools, and we needed to open new doors to opportunity for those children, and that too many people and businesses were leaving the state because of the tax the tax system in the state of Ohio. So we passed, as I mentioned, the most fiscally conservative budget in over 40 years, where in my first year in office there, we actually cut state government spending, which, not just slowed the growth, but actually cut actual spending in the state of Ohio, and was able to reform the tax code, eliminating all of the onerous taxes on business that penalized them for success, moving the system to more a consumption-based system of taxing, and cut the personal income tax by 21%, which includes capital gains and as well, so that more people would be able to keep more of what they earn to spend and save on their own priorities. And last week there was an analysis done by the Department of Taxation that was released that said that every year since then, Ohioans are saving more than $2 billion a year, which means that they have more than $2 billion a year in their pockets to spend and save on their priorities, which means that small businesses have more money to reinvest and grow their businesses. And I think we're going to need to do more of those kinds of things to get Ohio moving in the right direction. And I also mentioned education. I spent a lot of time working on education issues across the state, largely in a lot of our urban areas. And I think it's critical that we do a better job of helping kids that are trapped in failing schools have a lifeline to better opportunity. And I think that means school choice. And so I expanded the public school choice options and also expanded private school choice options by creating the Ed Choice Voucher Program in Ohio, so that kids could who are trapped in chronically failing schools could have a lifeline to that hope and opportunity by going to a school of their choice. And almost 14,000 kids are taking advantage of that today. You combine that with my efforts to create the Choose Ohio First Scholarship Program to help aspiring high school graduates get access to a college education in the STEM disciplines. All of those things lead to giving people more of the money that they have. The tax reform gives them more of the money that they earn to spend and save on their priorities. The education really is the lifeline to a better economic life for themselves and a better economic lifeline to Ohio. And so those are some of the many things that I'm proud of being involved in, and I think are critical to the future of Ohio. And I want to continue to work on those kinds of things as we head into this new decade.
What about regrets? Do you have any regrets on things you couldn't accomplish, you didn't accomplish?
Yeah, so far, but I don't consider them to be unaccomplished. I just think that I haven't accomplished them yet, because I'm not going to give up on the things that we've been unable to do. One of the things along the lines of education, we tried to create at least a special needs voucher for kids with special needs students who may need a better opportunity for education, that may have a physical or mental disability that's holding them back, but that they can be successful in the right educational setting. And we tried to help those special needs students, but the governor vetoed the bill, vetoed the language out of the budget. Governor Strickland tried to deny those students that opportunity for success. And I regret that he did that. I guess it's not my regret, it's my regret that he did it. But I'm not giving up on those kinds of things. I'm going to continue fighting for that, for those kinds of issues that give more people freedom to choose better opportunities in their lives, and that they don't have to always eat off the government menu for everything that they do.
You were, was it last year you were elected to the Senate? 2 years ago.
I was elected to the Senate in 2008 and took office in 2009.
Why make the jump this quickly to this Secretary of State's race?
Well, frankly, it's not something that I had really thought about. I mean, I guess I thought about doing it, but when 2010 came and I saw the outcome, when 2009 came and I saw the outcome of the 2008 elections, which I was very disappointed in, and while I think a lot of America at that point in time thought that the election of Barack Obama in an all-Democrat Congress was going to mean a change that they could believe in, so to speak, I saw it as something that had concerned me very much, and I wanted to try to play a bigger role in making sure that we were confronting issues and policy issues that I thought would lead America to a better place. And